Class management is so freaking hard. It does not matter if you are a veteran teacher, a veteran substitute teacher, a brand new teacher, brand new substitute teacher, substitute. Anyways, you get the point. Class management is one of the hardest things that anyone has to deal with. And it's one of those where we learn them in college. We learn how to manage a class, but like learning it from a textbook and then having the students in the classroom and gaining the experience to do class management is totally different, and you just need the experience. So today I'm going to be talking about elementary class management tips that will help you be successful in the classroom. But first things first, you do need to arrive early. The reason you need to arrive early is because, one, you need to know what's on the lesson plan for the day. You need to see if there's anything that you need to get out to help prepare for your day. Another thing is you really are going to need to know where the bathroom is for yourself, because you will be having to go, I promise. And you are going to have questions, and you do want to ask questions to the surrounding teachers and maybe even to the office if you need help. So that's why you do arrive early. Okay, so when the kids come, the nice thing about elementary school is that they have routines, and these students thrive on routine. And the teachers will tell you this is what they do, so you don't even have to change it up and make your own routine. Like usually it's something just like very simple. Like the students come in and they put their coats and their backpack down and they get all of their school materials. Like sometimes they just have a folder and it's like bring home, keep at school, keep in folder type of thing. Real simple. They take that, maybe they get their desks down, and then they write their names on the board, and then they get their morning work from a bin and they get started for the day. That is actually like pretty awesome. And elementary kids are like sponges. They soak that up. So just one thing to know is you do not need to change that routine. That will throw them off completely. I think just having a substitute teacher in general is exciting to them and will throw them off a little bit, but they thrive on that. So make sure just keep reminding them to get their stuff done. That should be in the lesson plan. Make sure that you greet the students at the door. I think this one is an obvious one, because if you love kids, you love kids, and you're going to greet them at the door and get to know them a little bit. Smile and just say hello and say, oh my gosh, I love your shoes. How cool are they? Or I love your shirt, or your hairstyle is so cool and stuff. And like make them feel warm and welcome, and that they know that you are a nice person and a safe person to be with for the day. Now getting on to like managing the behavior. Same thing with greeting them at the door. Make sure you learn their names. And I know this one's hard because today you might be in Mrs. DD's class, and then tomorrow you'll be in Mrs. Pennsylvania's class. And I don't know, I'm making them up, but you get the point. You're going to have different students, but it's still really important. So just a little tip that you could do is you have little Gracie in your class and you say, hi, Gracie, it's so nice to meet you. Hey, Gracie, can you go and be the paper passer for the kids? Thank you so much, Gracie. And then you see Jimmy and it's like, hey, Jimmy, come here. I want you to collect the papers, or I don't know, something along those lines, and keep saying his name. Make sure that you, Gracie was my example because she came into the room, which is my cat. Getting to know their names and starting to know their names, it makes them feel validated, makes them feel like they are a human being versus like a number in the classroom, or like, hey, you. They're just like a thing. So just that's probably the hardest thing to do, is know their names. And if you can't remember their name, just say, I'm so sorry, please remind me of your name again. And they will say it to you, but try your hardest to remember those. Have an activity ready to go. So a lot of the times teachers will give the assignments and then you have maybe 15-20 minutes left and you're like, oh crap, what do I do now? Well, come prepared. Maybe there's crossword puzzles you can do. You can have the students read. You can have them, maybe it's close to winter break time, and you say, hey, draw a picture on this paper on what you're going to be doing over break. And then you can talk about it. Remember, we used to play 7-Up with like the thumbs, and then you like try to see who put your thumb down. Something along those lines. That's probably something that could be done more like at the end of the day. But yeah, try to have some type of activity to keep them engaged, because if they're not engaged, they're going to be starting to be wild. Incentives. Incentives are very important, especially for good behavior. We want to praise the good behavior. For the most part, in elementary school, something you could do is like star dollars, where maybe you see a child doing something really well. Like, for example, you said 3 times to get their workbook out for math, and everyone's talking, but 3 students listen to you, then give those kids star dollars. Then at the end of the day, you could have a bag. I acted like I had my bag in my hand. You could do like a treasure chest, and at the end of the day, when they hand in their dollar, they can get a treat. Not a treat. They could get a prize. So it could be something like erasers. Remember those like grippers for your pencils, pens, gel pens, little mini notebooks, things that elementary kiddos would enjoy. Have a classroom attention getter. So if you're in physical education, buy a whistle. That will be your best bet, especially if you go outside and they hear your whistle, they know like it's time to go in, and you don't have to strain your voice. I learned, because that's what I do now. Okay, so you could also do like a wand. I've seen these like really pretty wands, where like it's like almost 3D, and you like shake it and it like vibrates and makes a noise. Some teachers have like a doorbell in their classroom that you can do. You can do a bell if they're too loud, and you can just jingle the bell. Another thing that you can do as well is like you can say certain phrases, and that would get them to stop and listen to you. So like one thing that I saw when I was student teaching was they would do remember ice baby, do 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 do. Okay, enough of that. But you could say stop, and then the kids would say collaborate and listen. And then now they are ready to start. You could do something like 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Or you can do something like, I have to put my coffee down for this one. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 5 times. And then if they don't, you keep going. And then you can say, if you hear me, clap 12 times. And then when they're all clapping, you can just start bringing humor into it and say, oh, thank you so much for that. A round of applause. It was great. Thank you so much. I just love it, and then you have their attention again. And the last one should have, to be honest, been at like number 1 or 2 is set your expectations. When you come into the classroom, after greeting the kids at the door with your beautiful smile, introduce yourself and set the expectations that you have for the day. Start with the expectations. I'm actually glad I put that last, because that's important. Guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this class management for elementary kiddos. Let me know what type of class management you guys use, and I will see you in the next video, which is class management for middle school.